Welcome back, traders and investors, for our comprehensive weekly market analysis. This analysis focused on multiple time frame analyses, supply and demand zones, price action, and price structure for gold, US 500, US Tech 100, and Bitcoin, US dollar. Let's begin with the gold, US dollar. Gold prices have remained range-bound between 1990 and 1935 on the weekly chart since our last update. Our previous analysis of the weekly price structure remains unchanged. There are two possible scenarios. Gold could retest 1990 and 2011 levels and continue its upward move towards 2067 or break below 1935 and 1914 levels, completing a triple-top reversal pattern and potentially heading lower. Examining the daily chart provides more insights into the price action. We can observe lower highs and flat lows, suggesting a decrease in value and the formation of a potential descending triangle pattern. If gold fails to hold at 1935, it could continue its downward movement. Taking a closer look at the 4-hour chart, we can identify critical levels to monitor. The upside levels to watch are the 1986 to 1997 zone, while the downside levels are 1956 to 1945. The price has tested the 1956 to 1945 level multiple times and held, but paying attention to the higher lows is essential, indicating weakness. If gold fails to hold at 1945, it could align with the bearish signals from the weekly and daily charts and continue its downward trajectory. Now, let's move on to the US 500 index. The US 500 index reached the target of 4,320 on the weekly chart, as indicated in the previous forecast. The next step is to determine its future direction. Analyzing the daily chart provides a clearer picture of the major levels. Last week, the index traded below the crucial zone of 4,332 and 4,291 for most of the session, but it made a final move, opening and closing above this critical level in the last session. The daily target remains the same as previously forecasted. If the index breaks and holds above 4,332, it could continue its upward movement. Examining the 4-hour chart reveals strong upward moves after the breakout around 4,233, but the index fell short of breaking the 4,312 and 4,356 supply zone. This particular zone was a critical point in August 2022 when prices were rejected and dropped to 3,517. Traders and investors should closely monitor these crucial levels. A break above 4,312 could lead to a continuation towards 4,356 and 4,420. Conversely, a failure to break above would result in a potential retest of 4,233. Next, let's analyze the US Tech 100, starting with the weekly chart. The US Tech 100 has closed 3 consecutive sessions above 14,166, driven by major players and establishing itself as the main driver of the market. If the momentum continues, the previous targets at 14,850 and 15,164 could be achieved. The daily chart's price movements reveal the index dropped below 14,456 but managed to recover and close above this critical point by the end of the week. Analyzing the 4-hour price chart, we identify a critical demand zone at 14,215 and 14,311 and a supply zone at 14,567 and 14,662. While monitoring the weekly and daily timeframes for long-term direction is crucial, focusing on lower timeframes, such as the 4-hour and 1-hour charts, helps us understand the price action. The current price structure suggests that the index could continue its upward movement if it breaks the supply zone at 14,567 and 14,662. However, it could pull back to the demand zone at 14,215 and 14,311 if it fails to do so. Finally, let's analyze Bitcoin versus the US dollar and determine its next move. The price structure and targets for Bitcoin on the weekly and daily charts have remained unchanged since our last analysis. The supply zone at 31,682 and 30,000 is still intact, with Bitcoin briefly touching the 30,000 level but failing to continue its upward move. The critical level at 27,651 has posed a challenge for the past 4 weeks, and if Bitcoin fails to break above it, it is possible to retest the demand zone at 24,420 and 23,200. Analyzing the 4-hour price chart provides more details about recent price movements. Bitcoin is under pressure from bearish forces, as evidenced by the strong resistance around the 27,082 and 26,568 supply zones. The price has failed to break through and continues to register lower highs and lower lows, indicating a decrease in value and a potential continuation of the downward trend. At the time of writing, Bitcoin trades around 25,940, following a drop from 26,578. Monitoring the weekly and daily charts for long-term direction is crucial, while observing lower timeframes, such as the 4-hour and 1-hour charts, helps identify short-term trends. Based on recent trading activities around the supply and demand zones, we have concluded that Bitcoin will need to break above the current supply zone at 26,578 and 27,082 to resume its upward movement. However, if it fails to hold above the demand zone at 25,228 and 24,724, it could continue to decline. We utilize the supply and demand system available on the MetaTrader platform, MT5, and MT4, to support our analysis. This system provides valuable insights into future zones based on price action and the supply and demand theory, applicable to various time frames and assets such as stocks, stock indices, futures markets, forex markets, commodities, and cryptocurrencies. By acquiring a copy of the system, you can enhance your understanding of market movements and anticipate major price shifts from both long-term and short-term perspectives. To stay updated on major price movements, subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching, and happy trading.